So we got one of the most random games probably ever in this Nintendo Direct, and it is Princess Peach getting her own game. And it's coming next year, and there's really no other information about this. We don't know what it's called, we don't know what we will be doing, and we only got about a 30-second snippet of Peach doing some random things on a stage, and that's really about it. So we don't have a lot to go off of here, but of course, like always, we are going to try very hard to dissect this thing and try to uncover the mysteries as to what this game is even going to be about. But of course, before we get started, thank you guys so much for showing so much support today. It's been amazing. So if you guys are watching this video right now, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, because a lot of you guys watching this are not yet subscribed. So stop what you're doing. It's only going to take a couple of seconds. Leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things this Princess Peach game and Nintendo in general. Without further ado, let's dive into the trailer. The first thing we have is the curtains open and Peach jump out of the floor with some type of flower character by her side. Now, we know she's jumping off of some trampoline with a star on it, which kind of resembles the flooring at the beginning of her castle. So my theory is that lots of this takes place on stage. It's some type of stage play that Peach set up in the castle, and something must have went wrong. There's also a chance that this is just a completely different world. It looks like maybe she's taking place in some play or storybook from another time or something, as a lot of the creatures and characters we see are very different than anything we've seen so far within the Mario universe. After all, in the background we see a different style of castle made out of cardboard, and we can see a character up in the window at the top left. Now, to me, this looks like the start of a brand new level, like she's getting ready to move towards the right in this level, and she's just kind of jumping up, getting ready to go with her little partner or sidekick, whatever this flower is, before the level starts. These characters look a lot like Wigglers or Flutters from the Mario franchise. They have those big noses, and they all seem to be dressed up in like a green suit and a green hat. You can even see the lamppost has a little fedora hat on top of it, so it seems to be some type of little town where a lot of these characters live, and they seem to be good characters as they run past Peach, and a lot of them look sad and worried about what's to come. It also looks like their noses glow like light bulbs at night for some reason. They kind of have this fluorescent hue to them, and they blink in a blue tone. We also see that Peach has some type of yellow light, almost like a shooting star, following behind her, which tells me that's probably that flower character that we saw at the very beginning. It's her sidekick, which allows her to attack in this game. Now, as Peach gets closer to enemies, the lights dim, and the spotlights shoot on the two NPCs in the road, and also on Peach, while the purple spotlights shoot on the enemies in front of her. Now, Peach uses that star character in order to have a ribbon shoot out of her hand, and it hits the enemy, knocking them back, apparently or seemingly getting rid of them or knocking them out of the way, and she does a little pose at the end. This might be her new signature attack where she uses ribbons in order to knock enemies back. These also seem to be new style of enemies. There seem to be some type of black figures that have masks on, and the one is actually very shocked that his buddy gets taken out by the ribbon. Then an oriental style area where we have two giant knights or type of ninja soldiers at the top right holding some type of giant purple lanterns, almost like they're waiting for Peach to come over there, and there seems to be some type of rope tied to a sign that's connected to the platform they're on, so maybe Peach needs to hit that. But call me crazy, but do these soldiers kind of look familiar to you? Yeah, to me, they kind of resemble Wario. Yeah, they have like big noses in the front, and it looks like they have a wiggled mustache very similar to Wario, or maybe even Waluigi. I mean, they are purple like Waluigi. Could they actually tie in? I mean, look at his shoes. They even look like Wario's shoes as well. Is Wario the villain? It's hard to say, but daggone it, that is a striking resemblance. But we can see two more of those NPCs with big noses up in the front, and they seem to be also wearing some type of oriental clothing or like ninja clothes, as one looks like he has a mask on. But Peach goes into the background and does something interesting. So Peach goes up to the tree to the right and spins her ribbon around her, which actually turns it into a fully bloomed cherry blossom tree, which then opens up a passageway for her to walk towards the back of the stage through a giant cave entrance. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes and pretty much every time I have a clue as to what's going on in the trailer, or at least a hint. This is one of the first times I'm completely stumped. I mean, I can throw out some ideas and I will, I just don't know where they're going with this. It seems like she's walking back and maybe entering a different style of level, potentially. Is this just like a small hub world for Peach right now? Have we not actually seen any actual gameplay of the levels themselves? It's hard to say. Before we move on, you can actually see a lamp or lantern here that's kind of glowing, I guess a black flower or something sticking out of it, unless that's like an enemy or something hiding, getting ready to hit Peach, or something to interact with, but it's definitely moving. We then see Peach and this flower character stand on a pedestal where it flies up in the air, and it seems to highlight the area for some reason, and it cuts out before we can see what happens. But yeah, it highlights the area with some type of neon ring, and it goes all the way throughout the roots sticking out of the ground and the background as well, as if it's about to transform the surrounding area, but of course it cuts out. We can also see two lights in the background which also have hats on them, and it seems to be themed after cowboy hats. We can see a symbol on the arch in the background that seems to be a star with ribbons coming out of it, very similar to the character or creature that is with Princess Peach as her companion. And we can actually see the star or flower character glow, which shows that this character is the one that's emitting that neon ring across the stage. It's using some type of power to change something with the stage. We've seen these purple spiked roots coming out of the stage floor and out of the background in lots of the scenes, and it seems to be related to whatever the enemy is this time around. We don't know if it's Wario, if it's a new creature altogether, but lots of the things that we've seen so far seems to be all new enemies and characters. Lastly, we can see some swords on the banners in the background, showing that this is some type of themed castle, maybe that castle we saw in the background in the opening scene. And finally, we see Peach twirl around with her sidekick with the ribbon, and it changes her dress to a white glow before changing to something else. It doesn't look like her dress is just changing white, it's actually turning into something, as if she's changing herself. This is very mysterious. She's also on a golden platform, and you could hear the announcer talk about what's happening. This is a special platform, something is changing, and then they cut it off right before we see, and saying that this was just a sneak peek, we will learn more later. So what the heck is going on? I have no clue. Like seriously, this is bizarre to me. Normally I have an idea and a thought process, and I don't know what's happening. It seems to be some type of on-stage play where Peach is taking out some enemies with ribbon attacks, but what's the premise of this game? It just looks like it's just missing a lot. Like there's stuff that they're completely not telling us with how the levels play. What's the purpose of this? What are we doing besides hitting things with ribbons? I don't know. I actually want to say that this gameplay reminds me a lot of Mario 3D World even, because it kind of has a 2.5D kind of style to it. There was a lot of levels in Mario 3D World where you just ran to the right or ran to the left, and you could interact with some things in the background, but it's a fixed camera 3D adventure game, which kind of reminds me of Mario 3D World. And I think that this play thing that we keep seeing may not even be the main part of the game. I can see this being like the intro to levels, or maybe even a little hub area where you go into other levels. It seems like every time Peach is about to enter something in the background or enter some type of new phase or new level, it cuts out without showing us technically the gameplay. This definitely feels like a sneak peek, like a just small little peek as to what is about to happen. They're not letting us see, you know, what's going to actually happen after she moves these things out of the background, after she enters the cave, after she steps on the pedestals. So yeah, I think there's a lot more level design and stuff coming. We just haven't seen it yet. It actually looks like Peach is about to turn into something. Maybe she turns into something with the play or goes into the background or something. I don't know. I get lots of Yoshi's Woolly World or Yoshi's Crafted World vibes from this, but we're just going to have to wait a little while longer until we see what's going on. It's coming out next year, and I'm sure we'll get more information probably during the September Direct or maybe even later than that. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. I want to hear your theories, and maybe I'll make another video talking about what you guys think this game is going to be about. So comment down below in all caps the word theory, and then followed by what your theory or thought process is with this game and what you think it's going to do or be like. Let me know, and I could feature you in the next video. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things, whatever this Princess Peach game is, and Nintendo in general. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.